Hello.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. It's so good to meet you. Thank you for taking the time today.
Thank you so much. I'm so happy to be meeting you as well.
Yeah. Well, I love you on the show, first of all. The show's great. You're great on it. So just to get us going, I guess, who is Dr. Samira Mohan to you?
I think she is someone who really cares about her patients.
Yeah.
Um, she's someone who you want to meet in the hospital as your doctor. I've had so many people reach out to me and say, I have a chronic illness and I hope that I run into someone like Samira in the hospital because she really listens to and advocates for her patients. I think she's almost existing in the system that doesn't really want her to be there.
Mhm.
Um, and to me, I think I picture her as this beacon of light in the ER.
Yeah.
Sounds like cheesy to say, but
No,
but
not at
that
all.
that was the best way for me to imagine her if I had
Hmm.
to take her outside of like a physical form.
No, for sure.
And I try to imbue that as I was working on her through the process.
Oh, well, it's absolutely felt. I think that is totally coming across.
Well,
And
so
like
much.
piggybacking off of what you were saying, I think my favorite thing about her is that she trusts her instincts, even when she has people pushing back at her. So I was wondering, has there been a moment, maybe while filming The Pit, looking back, that you feel proud of yourself for trusting your instincts as a performer?
Yeah, I mean, there's been a couple times where I had an idea or two for a scene, but I mean, it's my first series regular, and so sometimes I'm just sort of like, I think everyone knows more than me, and so I'm just gonna, like let other people take the lead. But I would say towards the end of the season, which is so funny because it definitely mirrors Samira's arc as well, where she does start to trust her instincts midway through and then it carries over through the end of the season. I also kind of went like, oh no, I think I need to start advocating for my character and for her because ultimately I'm the one who knows her the best. And I think especially through the MCI incident and the finale, that was where a lot of I was able to express, I think, what she needed, and what she needed to express in those moments. And I'm just so happy because like the feedback I've gotten from those episodes have just been great. So yeah, looking back, I am proud that I was able to trust my artistic voice.
Amazing. It's crazy to me, like that you said this is your first series regular too, because like you're holding your own there and like
Thank you.
watching it, you would never know this was your first series regular at all. You're rocking it. I'm obsessed with the performance. So congrats on that, by the way, too.
Oh,
That's
thank you
amazing.
so
What
much.
a first regular role.
I know. I mean, I was terrified of being on something that I did not respect. That sounds so awful to
No,
say.
yeah,
But I've always wanted to make art that I feel passionately
of
about,
course.
and art that I feel like has a message that it wants to send out there, not just, filler in between ads for TV. And so I I I mean I remember there were so many things I got close to that in retrospect I'm like thank God. And maybe even in those moments I was like I don't really want this. It would pay the bills, but I don't really want this.
Mhm.
I just remember like those years that I was auditioning, I would just keep I don't know what I was praying to because like I don't know if I was praying to anything, but I would just keep going like I'm okay with waiting. I just
Yeah,
want something that I love. I'm okay with waiting. I just want something that I love. And it definitely took a minute, but I
yeah, of
am
course.
glad that it took a minute. I'm so happy that I'm here.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Talk about trusting the timing of your life, right? Like truly,
Tell me about
oh
it.
my gosh. Um, Kind of going a little bit back, I read somewhere that, and you kind of touched on it earlier, like that she is a response to the medical industrial complex. So you said like the moment you read her, you felt that. So knowing that so early on, how did that inform the way you approached her? And did you feel this sense of responsibility playing this role, this doctor that is essentially pushing back against a system that allows patients to feel unheard?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think that a lot of doctors do it in their own ways,
Of
but
course.
on the show, but I do think that she's the one where you see you see essentially why your doctor can't spend this time for you. Like it is individually not their fault. It is systemically a big problem. And I mean, talk about the medical industrial complex. Like there's like quotas doctors need to fill. Like there's an in and out. I mean, the ER is structured this way because it is like ultimately what is most profitable for the hospital, for whatever funding they're getting, what have you. And it's awful that patients are treated as numbers in that game. And so I felt so much responsibility bearing that because I also wanted to make sure that in showing that she was this hero, I also wanted to make sure that the show and the character was also showing why everyone else couldn't be that hero.
Mm,
I would have hated if people thought that every doctor should just be like this and no one is. I think what the show does so beautifully is show that there's a downside to that for the ER team as a whole. And yeah, it's just been such a gift to be able to address some really pertinent issues with this
of course.
character and raise awareness on some incredible things. I just feel so lucky about it.
That's amazing. Um, yeah, I that was like I think initially what drew me to the character as I was watching it for the first time. I know in my life, like I've had a lot of specifically women in my life who have shockingly been to so many doctors and have been ignored and unaddressed, and then we find out later that they should have been listened to. So like I just for me, she was the one I was like, oh my God, that's my girl.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
and
I've had that too. I mean, women's health is just such a it's such a mess.
yeah.
Actually, I don't know if you know this, until like somewhat recently, they would only do studies for like drugs and stuff on like male mice, because they didn't want to deal with like the estrous cycle in female mice,
Oh my
which is
gosh.
like crazy because they were like, it's a confounding variable. And I'm like, my uterus is not, I
My
mean, not that all
gosh.
women have uteruses, but
No,
like it's
yeah,
like
no,
a
of
uterus
course.
should not be a confounding variable.
No.
And I, it's amazing to think that there might be someone out there that watches Samira and
Yeah.
because that pays a little bit more attention to sickle cell or pays a little bit more attention to a woman of color saying like I have these symptoms and it's like sudden onset and I don't think it's psychosis.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I it makes me feel so happy thinking about the impact the character might have.
Yeah. Well, you should feel great. I think she's such a great character, and all my little pit heads that I talk about it with were always singing her praises. So you
Thank
should
you
feel
so much.
good. So I also saw you mention that the Age of Mohan was rewritten for you. So I was kind of curious about like what other personal contributions you kind of brought to the character and what that collaboration looked like with the writing team and crafting her from maybe what was initially on the page to what we see in the final product.
Yeah, I mean, I cannot believe they did that. I still remember getting the audition and thinking, I am perfect for this, but I cannot play 36. Like it was so it was honestly devastating getting it and thinking that might be something that would stop me,
Of
but
course.
then getting it and then not only did they rewrite it, but they even asked me like, what age do you think she is?
Wow.
Um, which is why we settled on 29, because I mean 36 is like slightly older for you to be an R3.
Mm,
That means you either, got an extra degree or you took some gap years. Um, and to me, Samira always felt like someone that didn't really take that time off, or didn't really take that time to put herself in other situations to see if she would want to do something else.
hmm
I think she's always just been like, I need to be an ER doctor because I need to save my dad subliminally. I need to like prevent that from happening again. And so I think she's just been running, 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 running to try to get to that goal. And has completely let everything else fall to the wayside, you know? I mean, 29 is a very normal age to be like an
Yeah.
R3, but I think in her dealing with her trauma has maybe just poured everything into that.
Oh yeah.
Um, and maybe not other things.
Mm,
So yeah, that was definitely, I think, like the biggest change to the character that we
mm,
collaborated on.
amazing. That's amazing. And like what a small, maybe seemingly small change, but I think it makes such a huge impact and difference on the character. That's crazy.
100%.
Uh, um, so you have this incredible moment in the finale. It's like the moment where, she finds herself alone for, I think, like the first time all day, maybe, where the chaos has died down and she's crashing from her adrenaline rush. I can only imagine the chaos that comes with being on a buzzy series like The Pit, especially one that is kind of grown and grown and grown week to week. So how do you yourself ground yourself and take care of yourself when you are able to have a moment away from the noise and the hype?
That is a wonderful question. That I'm not sure if I have an answer to
And
that.
that's okay.
Um, yeah, I mean, it's just I do feel like the show has just become a cultural phenomenon in the
Hmm.
way that a lot of other shows before it have not. I think just because we're reverting to like good old staple TV, but like serving it in like a really in a new way and fashion. And I mean, I think emotionally I was not prepared for
Yeah.
how much my life would change. And like I said, it's like my first big job.
Yeah.
And arguably it's only been a month of the show like really blowing up. Like something happened in April where I was like, oh, like my life is different
Yeah.
now. And yeah, I think I'm still trying to figure out what that balance is.
Nice.
Um, there was like a period of time where I just deleted like a bunch of social media
Mm,
from my phone. Because I never no one really cared about me before, if that makes any sense. And
no, yeah.
so it took a second for me to process the fact that now there's just so much visibility that comes with the
Yeah.
role and like what a responsibility that is, and one that not many people get, and I want to make sure I respect that. And so yeah, I'm just like trying to take it day by day
Of course.
and make sure that I'm taking care of myself, because if I'm pushing myself too hard, I'm not going to be able to do this sustainably and long term. Massage is definitely
Yep. Okay.
the number of times like the masseuse I'm working with, I'll like see them once and then like maybe 2 or 3 weeks later I'll come back and they'll like rub my shoulder and they'll be like didn't I just work on this? Like what?
What happened?
Like what happened?
Oh
And
my
I'm like,
goodness.
oh. Life.
Life. Life. Isn't that how it always goes? Oh my goodness. Well, good to know the key to handling a big series regular is partially massages. Like
Partially massages. That is what
that's
I'll
the
put
hack.
out there. No, I mean it's so real because like your body just stores tension in ways that
Oh
you
yeah.
don't understand.
Oh
And
yeah.
I'm not trying to understand it. I'm just trying to fix it.
Yeah, right. Well, I think since we kind of touched on where she ends this season, I love, or what fascinated me, I guess, the most about her whole arc in totality is she's simultaneously stepping into her power as a medical practitioner, but also learning her limitations and not in a bad way, just learning what those are and juggling the weight of the system she's working within. Given everything she walked away from this shift with, what are your hopes for her in season two? Um, as we head into that 4th of July weekend, I think it's been confirmed.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't heard anything, I
No,
will
yeah, of
say.
course.
I'm still refreshing my email, hoping a script will hit my inbox because I'm excited to read it
Of
too.
course.
But I mean, I hope they continue her stepping into her power. I mean, she arguably should be at least a year above where we saw her. So she might be a senior resident at that point. So I hope they continue having her step into her power and really really trying to take on more responsibility. I don't know if she necessarily would have fixed fix the fact that she has no one to decompress with. I mean, she might have, she might not have. But I'm, yeah, so excited and curious to read what's going to come next.
My goodness. I really hope she finds a decompression friend, someone. Uh
I,
yeah.
you know what? The park was a step forward, and I'm hoping it continues.
Yep. A step is a step, right? So obviously there's been a lot of chatter specifically about Mohan and Dr. Abbott, especially that scene where he's backing her up in the operating room. I think there's so much happening with that dynamic, especially non-verbally in such a short amount of time. Could you talk us through building that dynamic out with Shawn, especially given that you've had less time with him than the other cast members?
Totally. I mean, I don't know if this is a satisfying answer, but I mean, everything just felt so easy.
That's great.
Like
Yeah.
it kind of felt like really unspoken, like what we wanted to do with that scene and how he was going to defend her, how she really needed someone to do that for her, I think,
Hmm.
because she's a little bit lonely in the ER. She doesn't really have that many friends. And I think Sean's character, Dr. Abbott, also is the same way. Like he's a little bit of a lone wolf. And so I think they both really have this like immense respect and understanding for each other. So we didn't spend too much time
Oh, okay.
discussing it at all. It just felt like we were both in step with what we wanted to happen for those scenes. And I mean, I just love working with him. He's so great. He's so giving. And I mean, it's Sean Hattasey. I feel like I learned so much just even like
Mm.
talking to him and learning about his experiences, and it was so wonderful working with him.
That's amazing. I'm actually talking to him on Monday. So,
Oh,
yeah, I'm excited to.
Paul might say hi.
I will. I sure will. Yeah, well, and then we'll have to do like a big group one and debrief, you know.
Yeah, that
So I know you're working on a play right now. So what kind of, I obviously TV, theater, very different mediums. So what was it like kind of shifting gears? I know it's been a minute since you've been on set for the pit, but what was it like shifting gears into theater mode? Or did perhaps working on the pit like give you something new going into this new journey?
yeah, I mean it's interesting because I feel like the pit is the most theater way you could film a TV show. Like
I've kind of gotten that vibe, yeah.
it's there's no lighting. There's like
Wow.
very little setup in between each shot. Like we move so fast, and it is
Mm,
because it's just like cameras up and we're going. There's like very, I mean, we just like maybe like figure out what we're doing in terms of blocking, and then we're like going. So it is like the most theater way to film a TV show, which I'm grateful for because this is, I mean, my theater debut. So I think it, got me in the discipline of like making sure I was off book and making sure I was like really on it, and I mean bringing myself to the role as much as I possibly could, and being on top of it every day. I will say the biggest difference, and this is probably obvious to a lot of people, it wasn't obvious to me, was how much of the TV show is like in the edit and how you're essentially seeing the
mm,
vision of a lot of other people,
yeah.
and as an actor, you're kind of one of the last people whose vision they see like in the scale, because like ultimately the edit gets chosen by the director and the
Hmm.
producers and the editors and what have you, right? I mean, they're absolutely working off of material that I gave them, but it's the edit that they get to use. And I think what's so empowering about theater is ultimately during the performance, what you see is a bunch of my choices. The director might have honed them, the director might have, guided me, and absolutely Zai, our director, is just so brilliant and has just been such an amazing artistic influence on me over these past few months. But it's so empowering to go like, no, I can like hold my own for like 90 minutes
Yeah.
and deliver a performance based on my own choices and the decisions I'm making. So that's just been so incredible. And I love the play. Fingers crossed that it transfers.
Ah,
Uh yeah, it's just been such an amazing experience.
that's amazing. Yeah, theater is definitely a marathon. Athleticism off the charts, I feel.
Yeah, I mean now I'm like I don't know what I was so nervous about filming this show.
Yeah,
Like I can do 90 minutes without, messing up. I now
yeah,
I know I can go back and do a scene without messing up. I
yeah.
would hope.
You're gonna walk into season two like slow-mo, breeze
Slow-mo
going. Yeah.
no.
Oh, oh, I forgot her about her nickname. Yeah, no, not. Oh, damn. Well, I guess to wrap up on a funner note, I know you're a Lorde fan. I did some digging. So I was just love her. I was curious, as Dr. Mohan is leaving her shift, as she's going home for the night, what song or maybe album by Lorde do you think she is blasting to kind of come down from that experience?
I think she's listening to Big Star.
Wow.
I think she's listening to Big
Wow.
Star.
Are you a
Yeah,
solar power truther?
I am.
I
I
love
mean,
solar power.
I love solar power. I mean, I think you only really get it once you've hit like your mid 20s and
Mm.
you're able to like sit in yourself and kind of go like, oh, like what was going on those past 10 years?
Yeah.
Um, I love that album, but I mean, Big Star is one that it's like on my Samira playlist, because I know she's talking about her dog, but there's like, I think there's like a part of her that like it reminds her of her dad,
Yeah.
because I mean, he's like the star of her life, you know? And I think she would do anything to like see him again. Oh my God, I'm like getting
Oh my
emotional.
God, no,
I'm
I'm gonna cry
not
too. Oh my God.
crying. We're not gonna cry.
Ugh,
We're happy people.
we're having fun.
We're having so much fun. Yeah, that is like a song I think she would listen to and think about her dad
Oh my God, I
too.
love that answer. I don't think that song gets enough. Like
No,
the hoops my stomach jumped through when you said Big Star. I was like, I love it.
I toss up if it's worth it every time I get on a plane. Like
Yep.
get out of here. It's so nuts. Yeah, I love that song. I love that album. I mean,
Yeah.
I will listen to anything she does.
Truly,
So
like, could just read the phone book over a beat and
yes,
I'd be
I'd
sold.
be like, great, I'm here. I'm the number one listener. Thank you so much.
That's incredible. Well, those are all my questions I have for you at this time. Thank you so much again for taking the time. And again, like I'm obsessed with this show. I love, love, love Dr. Mohan. I would walk into traffic for her. So congratulations on like such a, but then I get to go into the pit and I'll say hi. No. I promise I won't hang up and walk into traffic for her. But yeah, no, thank you for incredible work. Thank you for like taking her character seriously and what she means seriously. And just I'm really rooting for you. I think you're an absolute you're a big star, so to speak, you know.
Oh, thank you so much. It was so lovely talking to you.